Hello, welcome to Play It Forward. I'm not really going to be editing this episodes as much. I'm kind of trying to do these kind of quickly for time. Again, hi, this is Zon, the Daddy Dev. I'm short, my wingman, my cohort, Swinny, but I definitely want to do a quick video right now so that we kind of just keep our channel active. Here is today's topic, which is basically what is a checklist? What's your quality control as an indie dev, or should you have one as a developer? And this is basically, I started this in one of the groups, and I had like 3 of these things, but they've added on to what quality checks they have. So number 1, core gameplay and gameplay support systems. So again, do you have a good core gameplay mechanic? And whether it be churn-based, whether it be, a clicker, who knows what it is, a runner, a jumper, whatever you want to call it. And do the support systems like scoring, if you have multiplayer, do those things actually work all together? Like, how do those 2 things work together? And that's number 1, and I'm glad it's number 1. I think that should be a focus. Second to that is story, art, and concept. So this, again, if you have a game like Angry Birds or Timberman, where the concept is more important than the story, then that takes place. But ideally, yeah, I mean, I'm glad story is also second, because as I make games, I want to make sure that there is at least a strong story. I'm a sucker for story and a concept. All of the above, but the top 2, I don't know where to click that one that's added, but a good add-on. Consistent art. This to me is huge, and not just because my bias as an artist, but you take example for Minecraft, and I'm just gonna put this here, Minecraft. Let me do a Google search. And the thing is that if you have and I notice a lot of programmers don't want consistent styles, it's because they're not artists, they're programmers. But think of it like this, man. Minecraft is crapola. I mean that it's very simple, but you have people making actual costumes. It became its own movement, even though the style is not necessarily the prettiest style in the world. And I just want to say that because it has a consistent style that a lot of people would consider crappy, it has grown a user base, a fan base, and created its own art movement because of that. You know exactly what game this is if you see a picture of it. So that's just an FYI right there when it comes to style. I think consistent artwork is very important. Does it work? That's redundant. I put that myself to core gameplay, because you could have really good core gameplay, but it doesn't work. Again, if you are going to do early access, state it's early access. There's no shame in that if you're going to be honorable about it and update the game as you go along, and be good to your customers. But again, that should be up front. Also, and I love Jim Sterling, and I wish I could cite other people that have done this. Sometimes a developer, publisher puts the wrong file on Steam, and that's not necessarily Steam's fault or the developer's fault. It's just kind of the wrong file is up on there, and then it can be easily fixed. So if it doesn't work because of a mistake like that, that's something different. But if you are actually selling a game that doesn't work, that is totally going to screw you over as a developer. And excluding that point, it's early access, or you make an apology as soon as you can once you catch it, and hopefully do outreach to people that actually bought your game. Maybe give them, make it up to them somehow, because you don't want to lose traction with that. High level production value and polish. Yeah, we talked about that. Minecraft, right? It doesn't have I mean, yeah, this is let's see, this one right here is really clean. That's a high level of polish there, because they've done extra stuff to the image. But the game itself, for me, is a headache to look at. Oh my god, I love pixel art, but oof, that's a lot. Okay, and so again, it just depends. I would actually consider Minecraft very polished, even though it doesn't look like it's very polished. Finally, what's the other original concept? That really depends. I'm gonna, Minecraft itself was a take on Legos. It just did it better. Here's another one. My personal favorites, Death Road to Canada, which I don't know, it's not playing. And the thing is, to be honest, there are a lot of zombie games in my library. There's a lot of zombie games I played. This has a special place in my heart, and it's not original in the sense it's taking the zombie genre, and also it's taking roguelites, and I have other roguelite games, but the mesh of these 2 concepts together may not be original in a postmodern sense, but I feel this game is very original, very funny, and I do like playing it. I would love to play it again and try to make it to Death Road to Canada. Make it to Canada, I should say, not dying on the road. Anyway, so as we're kind of talking about these things and do these things pass? Yeah, Death Road passes all these things. Another thing, again, and it definitely is strong on story and on concept together. Another thing kind of related to games that maybe not necessarily like super like awesome in art or whatever considered to certain people. Like Swenny hates this game. I'm gonna throw that out there. I love you, Swenny. A strong dislike. I should say, has a strong dislike. And Swenny's points, and he's pointed out to me many times, is Timberman. I like the game. It's a fun game. It's polished to me. It may not have the best concept. It may not. I mean, I feel it's kind of original because like how many people are making games about Timberman. And the thing about this is that Swenny's take is that yeah, it is a port from a mobile game, and I can see that kind of being a negative. But they did really polish it. They added like extra features and stuff to really make this kind of special for their Steam release. So I think this passes like a developer's quality control check. Now, I have a strong bias towards this game because this is one of the games that Swenny is representing. I did get a Steam code for it. I've played it and I like it a lot. This is Utopia 9. And this game I think passes all of it. I think that there could be more improvements on the game, but as far as a game to ship, this game like works. It's got a great core mechanic. Again, it's a roguelike and it's a mix of top-down shooters. And for me, I personally do not like top-down shooters. Like I was a big fan of Smash TV back in the day, like in the 90s, but to me like top-down shooters get really boring. But with the roguelike elements, and even though it's generative levels, but there's a cover system in here. It's not like a Gears of War cover system, but there's a cover system. This really gets tactical very quickly, and I gotta say this is a very interesting game. I play a lot of Fallout 3, but I did really enjoy playing this game and getting into the mechanics of how it actually works. Okay, and so that's just an idea of like of games that like that pass this quality. And you know what? I'm gonna do this really quickly. Fallout 4, why not? They allow let's play videos, whatever. And so for me in Fallout 4, and this is my criticism of Bethesda. Oh, in general, is that they have this thing where I feel that Bethesda releases games that are not finished, ironically, and are not very polished. And what I mean by that is they're very dependent on their mod community to basically make better games. I did not really buy Fallout 4 because I needed to see the mods out first. So this is a different type of situation where you have a AAA publisher who is releasing a game that I know they know is not finished, but at the same time they're decent enough to support the mod community, which like brings features back from old games and actually just makes a better overall experience. So that's just my take on something that'd be AAA. So yeah, a comparison. Finally, I also want to note about your like purpose and how this relates to the game you release. I've made game jam games. I love game jams, and it's great for building your skills. I wouldn't sell those games. I want just people maybe to play them. I don't even want people to play them. It's just the exercise of making games. Getting players after the game is made is always good. And I do this because like I did post, like when I post games on Newgrounds, and I only have 2 up there right now, from 2 game jams actually. And the first game I posted was just straight out of the game jam, and it didn't do too well. I mean, it did well, but it didn't get like a lot of positive comments because I didn't really polish it enough. I just kind of released it as is. The second game I released with a group from the Global Game Jam got better because I feel there was more polishing, especially with the programmer, and we added some more art assets. So we didn't get a lot of comments, but we got a solid 3 stars, which is really good. And then, so that's just the note. So again, these 2 things, if I'm making just a game jam for Itch.io or the Global Game Jam, I'm just putting that out there and I hope people play it. And if that's a bonus, it's just really about making a game. If I'm going to, ideally for myself, if I'm going to put something on Newgrounds, it's at least got to tick off on some of these things I've noted here. Like, core play and gameplay systems work. I'm not so much concerned about story or concept on Newgrounds. I'm working on that, but again, more concept, less story. And I definitely also want to have consistent work. So I still tick off these three. So then finally, when you're talking about selling a game and getting consumers and stuff on Steam, I think, with all the things I've mentioned, you should definitely have all those boxes checked. And I say this because once you release it to the community, you really wanted to start developing a reputation as a developer and having integrity. And the players, really want to get a game that works and that so forth and so on. And again, yes, this counts in that there are differences in games. There's like something with a lot of pretty graphics. There's something like Timberman, but look, positive reviews, right? And there's definitely something like Death Road to Canada, and there's definitely something like Utopia 9, which I think should be a cult classic. I don't think it is at this point, as I'm clicking to it right now. And like all these games, positive, only 37. We've got to do something about that. So the thing is that no matter what the game is, basically what I'm saying is, please developers, as a community, consider these things before you release games. And I'm again doing this because I'm seeing what I feel, and a lot of people see this too. A lot of people are just releasing game jam games and they're putting it out there for free. No, sorry. They're putting it out there for paid and trying to get money from them. And those games should be polished first, and they should hit these standards. That again, it's just my. This could be my personal bias. I don't know. Maybe I'm full of crap. You can please leave a comment, so forth and so on. Now, again, I'm kind of doing this a quick. I don't have all the pretty graphics. I just want to say again, please like, share, subscribe, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube, because we just need that stuff. We do. If you like what we've seen, and a shout out to Swenny again. He's working on Utopia 9. He's really busy at work, so we just can't. And I'm really busy at work, so we can't meet up this week. And as always, please play it forward. Thank you so much.